What's going on, Pickleball World? Welcome to another episode of Only Pickleball Podcast.
OPP.
And yeah, you know me. I'm your host, LT. And with me, as always, is the lovely Nicole Lynn Devine. How you doing today, Nicole? Good. Special episode for you guys today. We are having the founders of the CPL on this episode. So
Our first guest
ever. So we're excited about that. And we're also excited to, share some of the news they have for you guys.
Yeah.
But again, that'll come later in the episode.
Yeah. Let's start off with our weekends.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what was your weekend like?
My weekend, was pretty much what it's been the last couple of weeks. A little bit of rec play, nothing really noteworthy.
Okay.
They get no tournaments. They did a couple good games in. Saturday, the weather was really nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I thought it was going to be cloudy. The day started cloudy and then got it nice. So we ended up playing for a couple hours. But other than that, no tournaments to play. No duper increase for me. No medal still. But you were very active this weekend.
Yeah.
In the Big Apple.
In the
Big Apple, right? So is that the only time you played this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear about your weekend in the NYC in the Big Apple.
Yeah. So Sunday was the minor league pickleball hosted by Allstate at Lifetime in the heart of New York, 34th Street.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
Cool. I've never been there before. Beautiful courts, and they're just street level. So half the court is just a window, and you can see people driving and the city.
Do people stand in the window and watch?
Yeah, there's people taking selfies and beers.
Selfie,
yeah. It's cool.
Look at these pro pickleball players.
But it was fun. So it turns out that the way to win a minor league pickleball at a Duper 18 level is not to just take 4 strangers and put them together for the first time ever. Have no idea what each other's strengths are, what side of the court they prefer. We were just so in the dark.
Yeah.
But great people, a lot of fun just playing. Not great results, but a lot of fun for sure.
So let's talk about the results.
Okay.
Well, first let's talk about how many rounds, because it was round robin first, right?
Yeah, so we had 8 teams.
8 teams in your bracket.
In the Duper 18.
Total.
Yep, and then they split us into 2 pools of 4.
So you play each team once, so 3 games.
Correct, yeah. So to get out of your pool, you had to be a top 2, which means you had to be 3-0 or 2-1.
Right.
We were
so you guys were
0-3.
Okay.
Very close games, though.
Okay.
I will say that.
Any dream breakers?
No dream breakers.
All right.
But most games are 21, 19. It was just very close.
Right.
There's only one that was 21-14. So we were just there. We couldn't get over the hump.
Right.
Really solid teams. 2 of the teams that we played in our pool were silver and bronze winners at the end of the weekend. So
of everyone.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Pool 2 had the gold winning team.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of fun. Honestly, I would do it again, even with the same results. It was just a great time, good experience. Never been there before.
Right. So that means you already won a Duper 16, right?
Yeah.
So that was a natural progression for you anyway.
Right.
18. Right. So
yeah. Did
the rest of your teammates, have they played in a MLP event or MILP event before?
A couple have and a couple haven't. Stephen Conger, who's one of the directors of Allstate, he was on our team, very familiar with the format. He plays in them all the time.
Right.
But the other 2, one had played in one before and the other had played in a couple, just kind of sparse.
But you would think that Duper 18, which again, the average Duper should be around 4 or 5. Is it really that? Shouldn't you just be playing pickleball at that point? I know you guys said you don't know about the sides, who should play what sides, but you should still know. It should still be.
We played well together.
Right.
I think the teams we played against, they were partners. They knew each other very well. They knew you're gonna take middle because that's what you're good at. they adjusted like instantly. Like we played 2 points, and the team would be whispering to each other and be like, "We're gonna do this,"
Right.
and then they just like that was their game plan.
Okay. Okay.
We didn't have that advantage, so that was our struggle.
Mm.
So you know how Duper has like the line graph of
Yeah.
your like progress day to day and like week to week.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
So my Duper Sunday morning to Sunday evening went literally like the stock market had crashed.
Like, yeah.
Like it plummeted.
Oh.
Because I lost every match I played.
Wow, they recorded the results that quick?
It was powered by Duper, so it was instant.
Oh, so what are we talking now?
And I literally said after the
Sub
match,
4?
I was like, the only good thing is that no one can see what happened this weekend. Like it's not on like pickleball brackets, like no one can follow along. And they were like, no, it's like instant. Like Duper has it already. I was like,
wow. All right, so
it's not that bad.
Spill it.
It's not that bad. I went from like a 4.25 to like a 4.13.
Okay, so you're still above 4.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's good. That's good.
It'll go back. It's fine.
There's no coming back if you go below.
It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
But the highlight of the weekend for me was getting to play with my tennis idol. Kim Kleisters was there.
She was in your pool then?
She was in our pool.
Wow.
So as luck will have it, her and I pulled into the parking garage at the same moment. And I'm getting out of my car and I have my pickleball bag on the ground. I'm like, okay, what do I need to have with me? And I hear, hi. And I look up and it's her. And I'm like, Kim Kleisters? And she's like, yeah, hi. Like she just saw I was like a pickleball player getting out of the parking garage.
I thought she recognized you from the pod or something. Like, hi,
no way.
I remember you talking.
So like it was so surreal for me to be walking in New York City on 34th Street. Like we walked to the tournament together, like chatting like a couple of girlfriends.
No way.
Yes way.
Wow. Look at the relationships pickleball builds. If you're not playing pickleball, what are you doing?
So we were like chatting on the way. It was so fun. Because my memories of her were like in New York, like US Open. Like that's what I remember Kim playing in. So it was really cool. Mm-hmm. I did lie to her though, because I wanted her to like me.
What did you lie about?
We were walking down 34th Street and she's like, oh, the Knicks game is tonight. She's like, it'd be really cool to like go to a game later after we're done playing.
Yeah.
She's like, do you like the Knicks? And I was like, yeah.
You had no idea who the Knicks were.
I didn't know if it was baseball or basketball.
Oh my God.
I literally was just like, yeah, I love the Knicks.
Wait, the Knicks, it was a playoff game though.
Because
I don't know.
Clearly she loved them. And I was like, if she loves them, then I love them.
Do you know where she lives?
She lives in New York.
Oh, so she does live in New York. Okay.
Yeah. She moved to New York like 4 years ago.
Wow. Do you think she went to the game?
I don't think so.
That was Sunday, right?
Yeah.
That was actually the Knicks' last game. They just got knocked out the playoffs.
I saw Knicks jerseys everywhere.
Yeah.
When we were
that's crazy.
The town. But yeah, so I got to play with her. I played in women's doubles, mixed doubles. Got to see her play a Dream Breaker, which is like she was a singles girl, so like that was really cool.
How'd she look? I mean, I know you said she didn't have a duper going in. What would you?
Oh my God, I would have 5-0 started her at, like just ground strokes, paddle speed. If you gave her something to eat, like it was gone. Like you had no chance. She's just so powerful.
Did you ask her how long she's been playing?
She's been playing for 4 years, but like barely.
She just meant like barely in tournaments, but she probably plays every day.
Right. The highlight for me, like, honestly, if someone said to me, like, would you pay $100 to go to New York City to play with Kim Kleisters, but you have to lose 8 times in a row, I'd be like, I'll take that deal. That's a great deal.
You didn't get pickled in any of the...
I didn't get pickled.
Oh,
they were all close games.
Making sure. Well, okay. Well, at least... Hey, it's the experience, right?
Yeah.
You pay for the experience. You pay for the story. And, you'll pass that along to your kids one day. And I saw you got a picture with her.
I did get a picture with her.
Insert picture here.
I wanted to ask her on the walk, but I was like, this is too early. I don't want to
Yeah.
like bombard her. Just play it cool.
Mhm.
And then after we lost to her team, I was like, it's time. Like if I don't do it now, I'm gonna just storm off angry because
Right.
we didn't like finish. And so she was so gracious. So like the whole day, people were like, "Kim, can I take a picture with you?" And this one guy was like, "My wife's on FaceTime. Can you say hi to her?" Like
Wow.
she
So
had so much patience for it.
she's really like a celebrity
100%.
and in the tennis world.
You're like the only person that doesn't know her.
Wow. That's not true, Kim. That's not true, Kim. So we had a couple storylines in last weekend. Not an amateur play, but in pro play. Ben and ALW, they were pickled in the gold medal match.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. How did you miss that?
What happened?
They played against Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz. They beat them the first 2 games, and in the third game, they served first, side out real quick, and then James and Anna just went on a tear and just
power couple. Jesus.
Yeah, they played a power game too that game, but they lost the next game.
Okay.
So it was a best out of 5 gold medal match. They lost in 4, but yeah, it's crazy that the goats were pickled.
When they're on, Anna and James.
Yeah. So if you got pickled this weekend, or you went 0-8 this weekend, like Nicole, just know Ben Johns and Anna Lee also was pickled. They were pickled, and so
happens to the best.
It happens to the best, literally. Also, Ben and Colin, they lost to Matt Wright and Federico Staxford. So that's a unusual headline for them to lose. And I think that's because Matt Wright was so mad about the pickleball memes.
I literally smile whenever I hear his name.
Say, "Oh, you think I look like a balloon face? Watch this, #1 male team in the world." Boom.
Oh my God.
So can someone please make a meme about me so I can just go out there?
Revenge play.
But yeah, no, that's so that was some of the headlines from this weekend. Do you have an Apple Watch?
I do.
Do you track your pickleball play on it?
No.
Because did you see that there's an Apple study that says pickleball is more popular than tennis now.
I saw this.
You saw that?
Yeah.
So I guess they got that study from perhaps people
like logging in their activity.
I see a couple of people who always like post a picture of their watch like after they finish playing. How many calories they burn, how many hours they played. So yeah, pickleball is definitely it's definitely growing.
I mean, you see like the photos of like, here are tennis courts in the fall, empty. Here are tennis courts in the spring, empty. Like pickleball, just like hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm. Drop a comment down below if you track your pickleball sessions on your Apple Watch.
Did they have pickleball as an activity though?
They do now.
Okay.
They do. You got to scroll down a little bit for it, but they do. So yeah, that's super cool, man. Pickleball is more popular than tennis, which we all knew already. In local news, let's go over. So we did have the CPPL, Central PA Pickleball League. They had their second match this weekend. They had their second match off. They had their second match this weekend on May 18th. That was at Bent Creek Country Club. I was there in person. So I have a gripe about the facility, really. The play is high level, obviously.
Yeah.
Some of the top talent in the tri-state area. But I just feel like the environment, or the facility isn't really conducive to either for viewing pickleball. And, the entrance is right behind 2 of the courts. So it's like, I feel like if you're playing on those 2 courts, it's kind of distracting.
It's tough with bubbles. Remember that from tennis.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like maybe they should have, during the build, they maybe should have put the entrance somewhere else.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's nice to have the facility there. It's just I feel like it could be somewhat inconvenient for the players and distracting. Also, it was really hard to with where the viewers stood. It was hard to see the far courts.
Yeah.
So it's like, you could really only pay attention to one, maybe two of the games that were going on at once. And also they all were the same colors. So it's just hard to really
Okay.
they all wore the same shirts. Now they did have their team sponsor in the back, but I mean
Hard to
from
see.
far away, it's not
Yeah.
really like, it's just hard to really follow along.
Okay.
So maybe for the next time, next season, they can have some different colors, more of a team feel. I feel like it was just literally everyone is playing. So there was not really any cheering going on for your teammates.
Okay.
It's literally just like, let's bang out these matches and
Yeah. I hear you.
see who wins.
What is their team color? Like, what is the color of the league?
They were all wearing a white T-shirt.
Oh, white T-shirt.
It did say, what's the name of it? It did say like the logo. It did have like the logo on the front, and then like the wording of one of the four sponsors.
So
on the
everybody
back.
just kind of looked the same.
Everyone did look the same from far away. If you were obviously close enough to see the back of the shirts.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But So anyway, I just I wish there was aesthetically.
Yeah.
There's some things that I would probably change for the future seasons. Let's talk about the results for match 2 of the CPPL. So match 2, we had Commonwealth versus Vanscoy Maurin Bash. Commonwealth won 3-2, and they won the Anything Goes on court 2 and 3 and a Dreambreaker. And then Vanscoy Maurin Bash won Anything Goes on court 1 and it won mixed doubles match.
Okay.
The other match was Team Ernie versus RH Cooper and Son. Team Ernie won 3-1. Team Ernie, they did win week. I do remember they won the first match back in April, and then they did win this week as well. I pretty much focused on one court, like viewing one court, and the one court I was watching was Drew Steckbeck and Sean Drenning versus Steph Zahn and Alex Mast. So Alex, he is the director of racket sports at the country club there. Okay. So very good tennis player. But they were defeated by Sean and Drew, which is like they're like the defensive specialists. Like those who have like the best hands, the best resets, the best touch that I've ever seen and played against. And they just make it impossible to put balls away on them.
Wow.
So that's one match I just wanted to talk about because I played against pretty much all those players at one point in their pickleball career.
Very cool.
But let's talk about our favorite league, the CPL. All right, guys. So we are here today with our very special guests from the CPL. We have the founders, Robert Oddie and Courtney Greener. Appreciate you guys being our first guests on the Only Pickleball podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. So, everyone, we have a lot of questions regarding the league, how you can join the league, how the league works. So we brought the only two people who can lay it out to you guys all how it should be and what everything is, and how it is, right? So we're going to ask some questions that hopefully can answer everything that everyone's asking us. And what do you think?
Yeah. So I guess we'll start there. Like, how did you guys decide to come up with this league? Where did you get this idea?
Wait. I have the first question. Why CPL and not CCPL?
That's actually a great question. Both of them are, but basically, when you start any company or league or anything, you got to get a logo. So our graphic designer we use for other things we do. We send him over all the information, concepts, kind of what we were looking for, and he came up with CPL for graphical reasons. He said CCPL or just wasn't going to look good with what he was trying to do. And that's kind of how it was born.
Okay. That's a pretty
Makes sense.
self-explanatory answer. Cool. Yeah, so let's jump right into it, Nicole.
Yeah. What made you guys start this league? Where'd you get the idea? It's kind of the first I've ever heard of.
Yeah, so I think the idea was, always out there. People always chatted about it in various forms. One night we were at a bar called Firkin with our friends. A guy named Sean O'Connell was basically saying, somebody should start this. And me and Corey were like, why don't we just start it? So that's kind of how it started, and it's just unraveled from there. Started doing some research. We run tournaments and other things, so we know a lot of the club owners. It kind of just unraveled, and here we are.
I think that was last fall that we originally had that thought, and Robbie kind of stuck with it. And then there was one night, and we spent a lot of time trying to figure out the format, how that would look, messing around with that, and then it kind of just went from there.
Cool. So shout out to Sean and Firkin for bringing that thought to life.
Yeah.
Where's Firkin at?
By Mercer Bucks Pickleball Club. So
Is that Ewing then, technically?
yeah, probably a post pickleball gathering.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess before we dive deeper into the CPL, we kind of wanted to know a little bit more about you guys personally. So, Courtney, tell us more about you. Like, where are you from? How you got started? What your sports background is, and anything you want to share with us.
Yeah, so I played tennis in high school. Played a little bit after that for fun in college, and then during COVID, my mom started playing pickleball. Allegedly, we played pickleball in gym class. I don't remember playing that at all. So suddenly, every morning, she was going to pickleball with her friends that had introduced her to pickleball. And finally, one day, I was like, okay, I'm going to come and see what this pickleball looks like. I went, honestly, really was shocked when I saw it because I, again, do not remember seeing that. And then turns out they needed a fourth a few days later. So I was like, okay, fine, I can go do this. It was in the parking lot of the senior center, so it sounds pretty appropriate for pickleball. And then I played from there, and then we played all winter outside in a cul-de-sac. And then somebody finally brought me to Flemington Pickleball Club, but it was so hard to get in because all the open plays would always be full, and if you don't have a membership, you can't get in. Finally went one day, and then I was basically hooked from there on out. So that was about a little over 2 years ago. So we've been playing ever since then in central Jersey-ish area, but obviously driving pretty much everywhere to actually play.
So about 2 years, you said you were playing then?
Yeah.
And you're already, you're playing 4-5, so open?
Yeah, nice plateau here at the 4 or 5 level.
I mean, what do you attribute the plateau to?
It gets hard once you get to a certain level. You can only go upwards for so long, so fast, and then it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is where I'm at. And now, honestly, with doing this league and other things, I feel like doing more of the back end side of pickleball has taken over, which I don't mind. I actually really enjoy it. Got a little bit of a burnout from doing tournaments, I think, too, but yeah, I still enjoy playing a lot. Just haven't been, I play more for fun now, I feel like, than I do like drilling and doing things. We say often, we should really go drilling. We should really do that. So we need to do more of that.
You guys are busy.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. So a little bit of tennis background in high school, and you said a little bit of college too, right?
Yeah, mostly just for fun, hitting around with friends.
Where'd you go to college?
TCNJ, the College of New Jersey.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Robbie? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so for pickleball wise, started playing. My aunt forced us to play on vacation one year. So I was making fun of her for playing it and all that. I held my own though. I mean, she was probably only like a 3-0, but held my own. It was fun. Came home from vacation, went back to normal life. I was at college at the time, and then over the summer we have a pickleball club, Flemington, which Courtney plays at too, right in our hometown. So started playing there because of my parents. Started getting into it and very competitive. So and yeah, just never really stopped. I kind of flew up into like that 4-5, low 5-0 category. I'm like, could win a 4-5 or be really competitive in a 4-5 or go 2-2 in an open. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah.
What did you say? What was your like high school sport background or?
I played almost everything. I mean, I played basketball, soccer, baseball growing up. Played a bunch. And did a lot of like racing. Played almost everything there.
Racing? What kind of racing?
I did a lot of sim racing growing up. Kind of a nerd. That was fun. But yeah, there's like this whole world on sim racing online. Not like video games, more like simulations and stuff like that.
Okay.
Of, corporate sponsorship and teams, and I mean, people really do it as a career. So,
I mean, so you guys are fairly young. Do you get like friends that you tell that you play pickleball, like making fun of you for it being like an older sport, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, most of our friends are now in pickleball that we talk to on a regular basis, but definitely some of our old college buddies or high school buddies are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say we played a tournament last summer, and it was a huge bracket in the finals. It was us, obviously, and another mixed doubles team. And then when I tell people about it, I'm like, I was the oldest person on that court. I was 24, and Rob was 20, and the other girl was like 21, and the other guy was 23. And I was like, this is the direction that it's heading in.
Yeah.
I think once you tell people that, they're kind of like, okay. And it has become younger over the last few years, but yeah, you still get the looks of like pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean, the name doesn't really do it any justice, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, so definitely it's nice to know a little bit more about you guys. I know Nicole and I have been seeing you guys at tournaments since, was it April last year?
Yeah, that was our first tournament together. It was last May.
Oh, Climber?
Yeah, I think we played you guys the first round.
Yeah. So it's the first round, and Robbie, do you remember?
The serve thing, yeah, you called me out on that, right? I was like, I'll never forget that. For context, what happened? I think I called the wrong score.
Wait, what did I remember? Wait, what did I?
I called the wrong score, and I think, I think that's like a redo. And Alex is like, no, it's like it's our point or something. Or I was like, okay, yeah.
But I wish I would have never said anything because I think that fueled you guys to just trounce us. Pummel us.
Yeah, you guys know that.
He's like, all right, you're going to wear the same colors as me. You're going to call it my serve.
Yeah.
Remember that? The same.
We had the same color. We're all in clay, like clay pink.
Play.
And then we ran into you a bunch of times after that. But for anyone, if you guys ever play Nicole and LT, the easy way to beat them is just to hit every ball to LT. Nicole's a beast.
Touche. Maybe you're going on now. Maybe you're going on. Cool. All right. So, I know you guys told us a little bit before about like the analytics involved with CPL, but maybe dive a little bit deeper into that and just talk about like the format, how it works with the format, and then how you guys chose the rules, and
each team has anywhere between 8 and 10 players each week, 4 to 5 male players and 4 to 5 female players. And there's 4 rounds of mixed doubles and 4 rounds of gender double, all going on at the same time on 4 courts. At the end of the night, there's 32 games completed. Whoever wins the most games will win the match. If you tie, right, one team wins 16, the other team wins 16. You can win on point differentials, but if it's a playoff match, you go to something called a Super Dream Breaker, where you play 1 mixed doubles, 1 women's doubles, and 1 men's doubles, and you're guaranteed a winner out of that.
Oh, so no singles?
No, we're just not. It's a doubles league, and
right.
Doing singles with that many people would be very interesting.
Yeah, makes sense.
They need to play like 1 point or something.
Yeah, 1 point to 100. Everyone, that would be crazy. So no singles there. The rules are pretty standard. We do rally scoring. It does, you don't switch sides. And a lot of the stuff, our rules kind of customize our own rule book. So it's pretty similar to normal. We don't have any timeouts or stuff like that.
Yeah, we found with rally scoring that most of the games tend to end around the same time for that, which is really nice, especially in the league format when you have so many games going on at once. Versus
Right.
games to 11. Sometimes a game to 11 ends, another game's only at 6-6. So the rally scoring makes it so that the flow feels really cohesive and goes about the same pace the whole night through. Teams switch sides at 11, but yes, obviously with rally scoring, I start on the right, you start on the left. We stay there the whole time, don't switch sides. And we found that works pretty well.
Yeah, we did a lot of case studies in the fall, just trying to figure out timing. And most of the games on 4 courts from the case studies we've done, I think it was like 92% of the rounds that we completed all ended within 5 minutes for rally scoring, whereas traditional scoring, it was the average was more like 12 minutes. Just because someone would get pickled, and over here somebody could
Right.
you have 13 side outs, right? So with rally scoring, you still have to win on your own serve, similar to the MILP format, but it definitely gets you to the finish line sooner. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, finish what you're saying.
Yeah, for the standings, it's like any major sports league. You win a match, you get 1 win or 1 loss, and it's based off that. There's tiebreakers, off head to head and point differential. It's kind of all in the rule book. But there's a regular season similar to all the major sports leagues, and then the top teams make the playoffs and they battle it out from there. Top teams get home field advantage, and then once you get to the championship, that's at a predetermined facility each year. This year, it's going to be at Bounce out in Malvern. They offer to completely comp the court time. They actually have a really nice facility, and we work very closely with Braden, Keith, and everyone out there.
I did want to ask, you mentioned you guys use 4 courts at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that would be a prerequisite for a club in the future to have at least a minimum of 4 courts?
Yeah, so the clubs we're talking to, you have to have at least 4 courts and you have to be indoor, right? We want to make sure these matches happen, right? We don't want people driving 45 minutes to get rained out on, and then we have to figure out another date to get that match in. The good thing about Cross Club is when the matches are going to happen. It's easy to commit to. This season, all the matches are on Wednesday nights with a couple on Saturdays, which are booked out way in advance. Can kind of make the commitment early on.
So, what is some of the feedback you've gotten from players so far this season, positive or negative?
Mostly positive. Nothing comes to mind on the negative side. We sent out a player survey for some feedback, good or bad. And most of the stuff was small adjustments. One of the not big ones, but one of the ones I'm just thinking of off my head was right now in a normal match, right? You have 4 mixed and 4 gender rounds, and we alternate it. So you go mixed gender. One of the feedbacks were, maybe we could do mixed, gender, mixed, gender. But nothing big. No lawsuits. No one knocking on our door. Mostly positive feedback. Players really like our social media presence. They really like the in-depth statistics, and they really like the biggest feedback we got is 2 things. One, it's very efficiently run. Right, you get your scorecard. The night goes smoothly. And 2, they love playing different players each week. And even throughout the night, they're playing with different players against different players. One of the bigger rules in the league is you can only play with the same player twice during a match, and there's 8 rounds, right? So I can only play with Courtney for 2 rounds. So it's forcing us to kind of bring the team together, play with different people, and you're always playing against different people. So that's the one thing. Say our X factor is one of our X factors is, since you are traveling, right, you are playing new faces. As when an in-house league, you'd be playing the same people each week, which is fine. We do in-house leagues. We love leagues. So, yeah. You got anything?
I think that's the biggest thing, playing with different people on your team. And some of the teams are bigger, so they might have more upwards of 15, 20 people. So they're playing with a range of people on their team from week to week, which is really nice. And I think the flexibility with that too is really nice for people. They have the season schedule ahead of time. They know, so 2 months out where you're going to be playing on this date. So that makes it really nice for commitment. I think Bounce uses a team reach, so people can actually just sign up for their weekly matches through that. Which flexibility is really nice. Sometimes I know with other leagues, it's like you can choose a bye week, which teams do have bye weeks. But you kind of have the choice of like, okay, I can't play this week. Not a big deal. We have a team that's big enough to get somebody else to come. So yeah, I think that's some of the biggest things that are most positive.
I think it's not necessarily a loose commitment, but you don't have to play each week. For at least for most of the teams we're seeing players played 100% of their matches. Players have played all the way down to like 20 to 30%. So that's good. And you only pay when you play. There's an initial registration fee for the league, which kind of pays for the software, the labor, and the jerseys you'll get. You'll get your own customized jersey. But after that, you really only pay when you play. So that's nice as well.
So there's no big upfront commitment again. So if you're not sure how many weeks you can play, or you know some in the beginning, it just goes week by week, which I think is a nice bonus kind of feature that we have too.
Yeah, then we do season awards. Some MVP or NFC Player of the Year or whatever. We do weekly awards and all that as well, which are all based off algorithms and statistics. But to be eligible for any end of the season award, whether it's Rookie of the Year or the Ben Johns and Anna Lee Player of the Year, which we can kind of talk about in a bit, but you have to play at least 40% of your games.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
40% of the total games, not 40% of the weeks, correct?
Yeah, 40% of the total games.
Right. And then season 1 is 15 weeks.
So season 1, the regular season was 14 weeks.
Okay,
and then the playoffs will go for about an extra 2 weeks. And then we also have an all-star match for the top players, which is a little exciting for them. But season 2, it should be a little bit more condensed. It's going to start August 21st and 22nd, and then it's going to run into November. Probably looking at about a 10-week regular season with a 2 or 3 week playoff, plus that all-star match kind of put in there. The championship will always be on a Saturday. And how we have it this season is the all-star games so Wednesday before the championship.
Oh, cool. And are you guys using Duper each week, or how's that work? No,
we don't use Duper. There are Duper caps to the league. For season 2, there will be Duper caps per division. So our 3-5 division, the cap will be 3.99. Our 4 division, the cap is 4.49, and the 4-5 division, the cap is 5.4. We don't use Duper. Like, we don't input the matches into Duper or anything like that. The only thing we kind of do is use Duper as an entry point for the league.
I know we kind of mentioned season 2 a couple times, so let's just go ahead and talk about season 2 and what your vision is for that and what people can expect.
Yeah, do you want to take that one? Okay. So yeah, season 2, we're expanding the league. Right now we have a 4-5 division. Like I said, we're expanding it to 3-5-4-0. We're introducing new clubs like Lehigh Valley and other places. So it's going to reduce travel times for most of the facilities and their players because there's going to be more clubs closer to each other.
So every club. So if when you're introducing new clubs, I'm assuming the distance might. Do they have to be within a certain distance or?
Yeah, so we have a radius that will make teams drive. It's usually about an hour and 5 minutes. If it's outside maximum, if it's outside of that mark, we'll have the match at an alternative facility. For example, Bounce, when they played Pickle Jar this season, played at Merchant Bucks, just because of the distance. Pro Shot and is one of the clubs looking to join next season. They've reached out to us a few times. They're one of the clubs where not a lot of teams would travel to them due to their location, but they can still participate in the league by playing out of an alternative facility. So maybe most of their matches might be played out of Players Courtyard or another facility around the greater Philadelphia area.
Okay, cool. So that is somewhat of a loophole to get into the league. You guys are just a club can play at a neutral site, so they don't have to they don't really have to be deterred if they don't by the radius, right?
Yeah. And then in addition to that, we'll have like a super day on a Saturday once or twice during the season where you might play 2 teams on a Saturday, at a central point, kind of knock that out. And especially for that 3, 5, and 4 division where there'll be, over 10 teams, anywhere between 10 and 20, it looks like. You'll have like divisions, right? So you might play everybody in your division twice and then everybody outside your division once, just depending on how it falls. But until the playoffs start, you especially the lower divisions, you'll just play people inside your division.
I mean, I'm excited about the jerseys for season 2. Those things look dope.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's gonna need a customized jersey. We're looking into like numbers. The clubs will be able to they're gonna work with our t-shirt manufacturer to customize their colors and design of their jerseys. Similar to NFL, all their jerseys are very similar. But the teams customize the colors and all of that. And then, like I said, it's already built into the registration fee.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. And the registration fee, once again, is
so $75 per player. That obviously gets you the t-shirt, gets you through the entire season, and then labor and software.
I was just looking at Club Flemington's pickleball roster.
Oh god.
And you two are on that team, correct?
Yeah, that's our home club. We're in a rebuild right now. We're not trust the process. Yeah, we're looking for a couple acquisitions.
Tough up here in this area.
It's definitely tough. So one thing we are doing though, and a lot of other clubs are doing it now that there's a 3-5-4-0 and a 4-5 division, to bring together a program to kind of help players develop and bring all the 3 teams together and kind of form that community. So, we have a GM, Sean O'Connell, the guy we talked about in the bar. He's going to manage all these 3 teams. Obviously, we'll help him, but manage those and kind of try to develop people up that ladder, right? Maybe we plug you guys in a 3-5, we start playing you in 4-0 in some select matches and kind of can work your way up that ladder. For us, we got our eyes on a couple free agents, but our timeline's probably a 10-year rebuild until we're competitive.
Wow. I mean, you and Allstate, you should just merge teams in this.
Yeah. So for us, Flemington. I mean, it's no secret. Flemington does not have a great player pool at that higher level. I think the players we have on the team now are actually getting a lot of value out of this league, right? So Flemington and Allstate are the 2 lowest ranked teams in the league due to their record. And even them who lose almost every week, we've got great feedback from them. Talk to Stephen Conger from the All-State team. He keeps saying he has to keep telling people they can't play this week because he has too many players. And same thing for Flemington. I think the lower level players, even though they're losing, they're getting so much out of the league because they're getting exposed to that higher level competition. So yeah, I mean, Courtney and I are probably some of the better players on the Flemington team, and we kind of get exposed to that level a bit more. But for most of the players on Flemington, it's a great opportunity for them because they kind of live in their own little world. Like we call it the Flemington bubble because no one ever leaves and no one ever comes in. But yeah, I think there's out of every negative, there's a positive.
What part of Jersey is Flemington in?
It's Central Jersey. It's pretty central, Hunterdon County. About 20 minutes, from Bridgewater, 20 minutes from Hillsborough, about 30 minutes from Mercer Bucks.
Do people have to be members of these clubs in order to participate in the league?
Good question. So we give a lot of the power to decision making to the clubs, right? We don't want to tell them how to do their own thing. So from what we've told the clubs is, whatever regulations and rules you guys want to enforce, you guys can. I know for Mercer Bucks, that's a big requirement. I think Flemington, they want 75% of their team to be members. Flemington also has a term we use called a community member, who might not have a paying membership, but always plays at Flemington, just pays gas fee or stuff like that. So it's really up to clubs. From what we've seen across the board, most of the clubs teams are compiled of their members, but that's not a requirement we enforce.
I'm a free agent, so I'm shopping around clubs now. There's nothing local by. So
LT, if you want to play Flemington's away games, I mean, we could definitely use you. Like I said, 10-year rebuild. You're still young. We're still young. So, come to 2034, we're gonna make a run.
Do you know how old he is?
Whoa.
You're young relatively. I mean, our average age is like 60.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jeez, man, I'm a rookie. I'm a rookie. Okay, cool. Is there anything else we should know about season 1, season 2? You guys?
What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed not only covering it the last couple weeks, because there's so much to share, but I really enjoyed like how every week it's just like the information is coming out so like consistently. I know what I'm looking for. I'm like, who's the highest player this week?
Yeah.
What are the teams doing? Like it's been so fun to follow along. It's like just following the story every week. So I think that it's been fun for players and also just like people who are interested in how they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, same. I did go to the Bounce versus
Oh yeah,
Mercer's Bucks last week, week 10.
Yeah, week 10.
So yeah, you go super high level play for sure. So I mean that was fun to watch. I mean the games were super competitive, which is a feature in pickleball that I really enjoy, competitiveness.
Yeah.
You know, it was hard trying to decide which matches I wanted to watch. You know, because it's 4 courts, so I'm like back and forth. I'm like, check out this one, and like check out this one. But yeah, I definitely think it's super cool what you guys are doing. I'm jealous. I want to be part of the league, so I'm like, how can I get a club in Lancaster or something? But yeah, definitely know what you guys are doing, and hopefully we can be a part. I can be a player, but we definitely love covering it and want to just keep getting more in depth with week by week for sure.
Yeah. You'll try and maybe play for Pickleball Lehigh Valley possibly next season. I'm excited.
I heard they're putting together a pretty good roster out there.
Yeah. I did have an idea. I mean, you guys, let me know what you think.
Okay.
What do you feel about a CPL Only Pickleball podcast giveaway for season 2?
Yeah, well, let's figure something out. I think we were chatting about this, but I think that's a great idea.
I mean, so what do you think? You want to give away 1 free entry to 1 male and 1 female overall, not in each category? Just one male, 1 female for season 2?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So we will be posting the details for all of our followers, CPL and OPP followers. So stay tuned for that. Keep a lookout on both of our channels or both of our platforms for that giveaway. Can we talk about Arizona or no? Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, right now for Arizona, right, we've had a couple clubs really all over the country reach out to us. But we're looking to start one out in Arizona and a couple other places around the country, just due to demand, really. So, nothing really more to share at the moment, other than the early stages are kind of in the works. But yeah, I'm sure when there's some news, you'll be able to find it on the podcast.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Straight out of Flemington to across the U.S. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you guys throughout the podcast life and the CPL life. So excited for what's to come, for sure.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
They just completed week 11 last week. Week 11 found Mercer's Bucks playing against Bounce. And to no surprise, it was the tightest matchup of the week. So out of 32 matches, Mercer's Bucks won 15 and Bounce won 17.
Wow.
So super close once again. Now I do know that Mercer's Bucks, they were teetering between that 4th and 5th place spot. And because of the loss, they are now in the 5th place spot. And I was talking to my buddy Tom Connolly, and he's saying they're going to have to really, really work to get into that 4th spot,
right,
due to some of the matchups the rest of the season. So hopefully, they can pull something out. But
you got this, guys.
I know that right now they're on the outside looking in on that number 4, on those top 4 spots for the playoff in June.
Yep.
Then we had Allstate versus Pickle Jar. Pickle Jar was at home, and Allstate won that. I'm kidding. Allstate, they did squeak out 3 wins though.
Oh, Good job, guys.
And Pickle Jar won the rest of the 29. So shout out to Pickle Jar. They are not relinquishing that number one spot.
Yeah.
They have some of the top females in the league, some of the top males in the league, and that just it's a recipe for number one spot in the league.
Yeah.
And then the final matchup was Club Flemington versus Monroe. Monroe was home. Shout out to Robbie and Courtney on Club Flemington, the founders of CPL. Unfortunately, even if you founded the league, does that mean
You're not
they're going to let you win? Because Monroe said, we're going to win 27 games, and we're going to let you have 5 of those games. So shout out to the winners of Week 11, Bounce, Pickle Jar, and Monroe. They all won their Week 11 matchups.
Awesome.
And how that translates to standings.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about the top 4.
Yes.
So in the 4th spot is Monroe. They are 6-4 overall. In spot number 3, and like I said, Monroe actually moved up to spot number 4 from the 5th spot.
Right.
So right now they are in the playoff
They're
picture.
in for now.
They're in with the 6-4 record. Spot number 3 is Players Courtyard. They are 6-3. They did not move. Spot number 2 is Bounce, 7-3. And number 1 team right now in CPL Season 1 with an 8-2 record is Pickle Jar. Pickle Jar. I think I like Pickle Jar's name the best. I like that club name. I like the club.
I don't know. Bounce is
I like Bounce too, though.
Bounce is so cool.
Yeah, I like Bounce too. But no favorites here. But I do have some favorites on Bounce's roster. I like their women are top notch.
Yeah.
They have what, 3 of their women are in the top 10 standings.
Yeah.
I think 3 of their women are
in the top 5.
Top 6. Top 6. Maddie Torosinski. Hope I said that right, Maddie. Elise Van Ormer, and then your singles foe, Trang Nguyen. So yeah, man, bounce. They're ladies. I did find myself watching a lot of the ladies matchups, for obvious reasons. But no, it was fun because I feel like they're some of the ladies were pretty they're super competitive in that league. And still holding that number 1 spot is Yo-Yo Shen from Club Monroe. I've never seen her play.
Me either.
I need to see.
We need to make that happen.
I need to see one of her matches. Have you ever seen her name in a tournament?
I haven't, but I wouldn't probably be playing at her level.
Right, that's true. Okay, so Yo-Yo, shout out to you holding down the number 1 spot. We're gonna come check you out. We're gonna be, on the low, incognito, scoping it out, so we can talk more about you in a good way. And then for the Ben Johns Award player race, we have Michael Benash moving up to the number 3 spot. I saw him play. He's a lefty. He is the real deal.
Really?
Like, yeah, he is he's a tough matchup. Number 2, moving up to the number 2 spot is Obi Janvier from Mercer's Bucks. And Manny Lai is holding down the number 1 spot. He said, I might not be in the number 1 club, but I'm the number 1 male in this league. So
nice job, guys.
Nice job, guys, for sure. That's the recap from week 11. So they have, there's 14 total weeks in season 1. So we're looking at 3 more weeks, and then playoffs start. Again, top 4 teams make the playoffs, and they're going to be crowning 1 winner. Bounce is hosting that championship.
Yes.
In June.
I love that because it's the best place to view matches.
It is. They put that upstairs. They have seating around.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bounce is definitely a good venue for spectating as well as playing.
Agreed.
Cool. So shout out to CPL and all of the participants doing your thing in the CPL. Biggest news from this weekend.
Yeah.
Or last week.
Everywhere.
Oh, the paddle controversy with not Joola, Yola. Okay. But yeah, so the Gen 3 paddles were removed from the USA approved list. What do you know about this news? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it instantly on social media.
Right.
And then it was like, how is this impacting us? Everybody's like, does this affect my tournament this weekend? It seems like most tournaments followed suit
Right.
It was instantly like, sorry guys, if you
Right.
had this paddle, we're not using it this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are just kind of hoping at some point they hear it's, back on the
Right.
approved list, which at this point it's not yet.
Mm-hmm. So I know like Robbie and Courtney, they also run tournaments.
Yeah.
And they were at the Players Courtyard this weekend in the shootout.
Yeah, shootout in the courtyard.
Shootout in the courtyard, and they said they were removing the ability to use those paddles this weekend as well. I did see in the CPL a lot of people. I feel like at least 2 people on every court had that new paddle.
Yeah, same with minor league pickleball. They also did not allow it this weekend. And we'll see how this week shakes out with APP in New York City.
Yeah, again, more to come. We'll wait to see what the USAPA decides or what they discover or what more comes out.
Yeah.
If those are eventually going to be allowed. But you know what? There's an organization that said, we don't care what the USAPA thinks because we're going to make our own rules. We're going to form our own rules. So the UPA-A, they put out a statement earlier or after everything. The United Pickleball Association of America announced as new governing body of the UPA, MLP, and PPA, it will oversee and implement equipment standards, rules, and regulations. The new organization promises to create 2 manufacturer and player-led committees to provide actionable feedback on paddle regulations. So to me, it seems like they're saying USAPA or USAP, you guys have taken too long to really decide what we're going to do with these paddles and how we're, what's going to be too much or too little. So we're just going to make our own governing body.
It happened in like a day.
It happened in a day. But, I did see that like they had like Ben Johns on the committee and all the like players from like some of the biggest paddle manufacturers.
Wow.
So it seems like they
have the backing.
They're going to have the backing. They're going to be allowing those paddles because Yoola's probably like, look, if you guys,
happen fast though.
It's gonna happen fast. So, but I mean, they run their tournaments. So, but they use USAPA refs.
Yeah.
USAP refs. So I'm wondering if the refs are like,
because they have to.
You can't use us.
You have to hand them in.
Right.
Get them checked. It's gonna be chaos this week.
It's gonna be chaos. Did you ever check your Rayocs? Are they on the USAPA?
They are.
List? Okay, cool.
They're approved. Yeah.
Cool.
For now. So looking forward, we have the APP in New York City starting this week for the pros on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Lots going on to see if like the paddles are going to be approved in time.
Right.
What are these players going to play with if they don't have their paddle?
Right.
We have like a day to see how that shakes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be playing in the amateurs this weekend.
Okay.
Really excited.
Yeah.
Women's singles and mixed doubles.
Okay. What days are?
So singles was supposed to be on Friday, but because of, brackets and things being combined, I'm now playing on Saturday morning.
Ooh. How many women are in your bracket?
So they combined brackets, and now I think we have 6 total.
Okay.
In women's singles.
Is this a golden ticket qualifier?
Yes.
Okay.
Golden ticket.
Ooh.
So
I like the chances for that.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Not feeling great coming off of the weekend, but we're gonna shake it off.
Shake that off. You're good.
And it's gonna be fine. So I'm actually lucky I'm not playing women's doubles because that would have been the same day as singles, and it's just like a lot.
Oh, okay. Right.
So women's singles is on Saturday, and then mixed is on Sunday.
So they do like the progression type. You know what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Do they do that for amateurs too, or just?
I think that's for the pros.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're playing everything.
Draws.
You're playing everything on one day.
For sure.
You're playing your whole draw on one day.
Yes.
Okay. And then you're playing mixed 4-5.
Mixed 4-5 on Sunday.
Who are you playing with?
Asher and Corday.
Have you guys played together in competition?
No, we haven't honestly played together in doubles. We're gonna play this week and try and get some practice games in.
Get that together.
Yeah.
Get that together.
Just,
decide who's taking those middle balls, Nicole.
Just take middle.
Decide who's taking those middle balls.
But yeah, I'm excited. Obviously there's a lot of like pro players there to watch and things to just do.
Yeah. Is that
it's
the
a
Billie
fun
Jean?
event. Billie Jean. Yep. It's where they play the US Open.
Right. I've never been, but
Yeah, I've been to Flushing Meadows for the U.S. Open just to watch tennis, but never to
Is it
play.
easy to get there? Like travel
So
there?
there's a whole thing. Also because of like games going on this weekend too.
What games?
Don't ask me
Oh,
about
sorry.
sports outside of
My
pickleball.
bad.
There's games.
There's games. There's sporting events.
There are sports.
I
Parking's an
think the Knicks have a
issue,
baseball game.
or the Yankees, somebody. But the stadiums are being used by other sports other than
Yeah.
pickleball. And so the best case scenario is to like Uber in, like park somewhere else and just Uber in, because parking's like $40 an hour and it's like limited because of the other sporting events going on.
Right.
So
Right. Well, good luck to you this
Thank
weekend. Big event. Hopefully you come back with a golden ticket.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be super cool, man. Because they're like those real big ones,
Oh
right?
yeah, they're bigger than me.
Yeah. So hopefully I see one of those pictures. I'm gonna be looking for that picture on your Instagram, and that's how I know. Like, okay, she's gonna be ready to talk about this.
Yeah.
I also wanted to maybe like talk about some, or not talk about, but just like mention tournaments in our tri-state area coming up. It is Memorial Day weekend coming up this weekend, so the tournament schedule does look pretty light. But there is the CTPA mixed doubles shootout on May 25th. That is in Cranberry, PA at Graham Park. So if you're a mixed doubles team looking to just play a tournament that's strictly mixed doubles, that one's out there for you.
Are you playing?
I am not planning that, but there also is the 2024 Pickle Me Silly Memorial Day Weekend Pickleball Tournament. That is in Owing Mills, Maryland, this weekend as well. And I signed up as needing a partner for men's doubles on Saturday. So,
all right, our Maryland viewers,
your Maryland viewers, help me out. Deadline's tonight, so you're not gonna get there in time. But no. So hopefully I can play in that.
Would you sign up for 4-0, 4-5?
They have it as 4-0 to 4-5.
Okay.
One hole.
Yeah.
So I'm in that. Saw a couple guys I know in that category, so hopefully I can play in that. I'm excited for that potential.
You like traveling to Maryland. You always go to those rooms.
Do I? I mean, it's kind of close to me. You know,
Yeah.
it's not kind of close. It's shorter. It's short. It's a shorter drive than the typical New Jersey tournaments that I play in.
Yeah.
So I do always tend to look for what Maryland has to offer.
I get that, yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I get to play in that. Hopefully I don't get arrested on the way to my tournament. Shout out Scotty Scheffler. But yeah, anything else?
No, I think that's it. We have obviously a lot to come back and share.
Yeah.
A lot happening this week to come back and talk about.
Yeah.
Excited to have our first guest this week and introduce more to come. Yeah,
more to come. So thanks guys. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for all the love on episode 4. It's, we're starting to grow.
Yeah.
Get some likes out there. Super important. Please hit that like button. Really helps out the channel. Helps get these videos out to other people who may enjoy them as well.
Yeah.
So again, smash that like button, share, comment, and as always, subscribe. See you guys next week. See you next week.
Next week at
same time.
6 o'clock on Thursday.
6 o'clock Thursday. Peace.